Our Asteroids game is almost finished, but there are still a few more problems. In the game, when we shoot the asteroid disappears. But in the actual game of Asteroids, the rocks are supposed to multiply and get smaller, and then they get smaller again until eventually they disappear when you shoot them. So what we need to do is put in some code that will allow the asteroids to multiply and also get smaller instead of just immediately disappearing from the screen. So to do this, I've made a different Flash movie here, and I've dragged out 3 asteroids. This asteroid is movie clip, and it's named Asteroid 1. This one's named Asteroid 2, and this one's named Asteroid 3. Now I'm going to open up the ActionScript window, and I'll say asteroid 1 dot underscore x scale equals 100, and then I'll copy that and paste it, and I'll change this to y scale. And you can see that asteroid 1, the x scale is 100 and the y scale is 100. It doesn't change asteroid 1 at all. But if I copy this code and paste it here, and I say asteroid 2, x scale and y scale equals 50, you can see that now the asteroid has half the size on asteroid number 2. And if we do that same thing, we'll copy it and paste it and change it to asteroid 3, you'll see if we change the x scale and the y scale to 25, that they get progressively smaller. And so this is what we want to do in our game. We want the first time the asteroid is shot for it to get smaller by 50% and actually produce 2 asteroids. And then when we shoot the medium-sized asteroid, we want it to get smaller and then produce 2 asteroids. So there's a couple ways we could do this. We could remove this asteroid from the screen and then attach 2 new asteroids that are this size, or we could just change the size of the asteroid and attach an additional one. So what I'll do is I'll close this, go back to our movie, open our Actions window, and scroll down to where we remove the asteroid from the screen. So under Shot Move, this is the code that gets called repeatedly that moves our bullets or our shots. And then right here you can see it loops through the asteroid array to see if there's a hit. And then if there's a hit, it removes the asteroid from the array and then splices it out of the array, removes the movie clip from the stage, and then also removes the asteroid from the array. So before we do that, before we remove the bullet, what we want to do is we want to run a test here to see what is the size of the asteroid. And if the size is full size, then let's make it smaller. So what we'll do is we'll say if asteroid array, and we'll put the I in there, so this asteroid, and we want to say if asteroid array, the current asteroid, and we're going to do a test on its x scale. We'll say if its x scale is greater than 25%, then if it's greater than 25%, then it must be either a full-size asteroid or a medium-sized asteroid, and we need to make it smaller. And that's what we're going to do. So we'll say if the asteroid is greater than 25%, then we'll take this, copy, paste, and we will change its x scale, divide it and equal, so this is divide equal by 2. So divide it in half, basically. And we have to do the same thing for that asteroid's y scale. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So now, if we run a test on that, and we play our movie and we shoot the asteroid, you can see it just got smaller, right? By 50%. Okay, and then if we do it again, it gets smaller again. Let's see this one. It gets even smaller again. So now what we can do is we can say else, open curly brace, and else remove the movie clip, and I'm going to put this here. We pretty much always want to remove the bullet regardless, so I'm leaving this outside of this if function here. So that looks pretty good. Now, not only do we want to, let's just test that out and make sure that works. So it gets smaller, it gets smaller, it gets smaller again, and then the last time it's gone. So there we have it. Smaller, and then eventually it's gone. And we'll just put this. We also want to duplicate the asteroid and make a new one. So all we have to do is say AST_MC equals create asteroid, and basically call our create asteroid function, which creates an asteroid. And then what we'll do is we'll say, let's create an asteroid copy, and we need to set that asteroid's ._x scale equal to whatever the current asteroid's x scale is. So we'll just do that here. And of course we have to do that for y too. So we'll do that for y also. And we'll change that. And not only that, what we also need to do is, we'll just copy that, is set the x position and the y position equal to whatever the asteroid's x and y position is. So I'll just copy this, paste it, and so we set this new asteroid's x position and its new y position equal to whatever the current asteroid's x and y position is. So we'll hit Control Enter, and now when we shoot it, we should see 2 asteroids created. And we did. I can see extra asteroids out there, but I'm not quite sure that that's working. So the game is not exactly doing what I want it to do. By the way, I forgot a semicolon here and a semicolon here, but it's not a big deal because the code will still run without the semicolon at the end of each line, but it's not good form. ActionScript wants the semicolon at the end of each line here. The problem is, here's the game. When I shoot the asteroid, it's supposed to go to, let's say, a medium size, but produce 2 medium-sized boulders. So when I do that, let's just shoot this one. You can see that we have a medium-sized boulder, and another boulder was created, but it's large size. Notice there's 3 large asteroids. What I need is 2 large asteroids and 2 medium-sized ones. So what happened in the code was the asteroid was created, but we were not able to then target it and change its x scale and its y scale. And we also were not able to adjust its x and y property. So for some reason the asteroid's created, but then we're not able to target it with its variable name. So to solve this problem, all we have to do is go down to the create asteroid function. This is the function that creates the asteroid. And after the asteroid is created, at the end, what we can do is we can say return AST_MC. And I'm not exactly sure why this functions, but if we call a return and we return the variable, it seems that the variable then becomes available and it will be able to be targeted, and we can actually change its properties here. So once it's created, we need to return the variable, and then we'll have access to it and be able to adjust it. So now you'll see that if I shoot that, now we have 2 medium-sized boulders, and if I shoot that, you can see the medium-sized boulders come and are created, spawned right from the place where they were shot.